Alrighty, we are now 189 days away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and with each and every day that passes, we are only getting closer to the official trailer 2 of Episode 9 by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So, what's really intriguing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie is, well, at the end of the day, going to be a revelation film. There's going to be a lot of these different reveals, these twists and turns, that are going to change how we view both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and everything that comes between the originals and the sequels. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, a description of both Luke Skywalker and Rey sitting in front of each other inside of what is said to be the home of the Prime Jedi. That is an ancient Jedi temple where it's described that Luke's Force Ghost is explaining his past stories to Rey. One of the sequences involves Rey asking a question about Ben Solo and Han Solo to Luke, where Luke is said to reveal a secret about Han as to why Han and Leia eventually split up, is that it was all due to them having different opinions on what happened to their son. It's said that Han did not agree with Leia insisting him to train with Luke. Han told Leia that if Ben trained with Luke, it would only make him stronger and make things worse, where Leia disagreed. Luke explains this to Rey, and that Han's smuggling also played a role into the cause of Ben feeling alone and turning further to the dark side of the Force because of this. The last straw between both Han and Leia was when Luke delivered the news, first to Han Solo about what happened to Ben Solo, where Han expressed his disappointment with his sister Leia that led him to splitting up with her. So, I want to go over this big secret that Luke Skywalker reveals to Rey about Han Solo, and for the longest time we've always been wanting to know exactly why did Han and Leia split both ways. Now, it was widely assumed for years that obviously it had something to do with their son Ben Solo, without a doubt, and now it definitely seems to be pointing in that direction by J.J. Abrams in Episode 9. After all, like I say, this movie really is going to be a film that's going to reflect on both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, changing our view of the past movies. So what do I make about all of this? Now, I want to go over Han's point of view here and where he's coming from. Now, we do know that he always viewed the dark and the light as mumbo-jumbo, as he explained in The Force Awakens, but he eventually agreed that it does indeed exist. However, he actually reveals to Leia at one point in time that if Ben Solo would train with Luke, it would only make matters worse by making him stronger and more susceptible to the dark side of the Force. Now, I'm not quite sure if I 100% agree with that, because at the same exact time, Luke Skywalker's guidance would be able to put Kylo Ren in the right path. However, if a character like Ben has too much Vader in him, just as Han Solo said, then there was pretty much no hope for Ben at all from the very beginning, from what it seems, where maybe that was the case. Maybe it really was Luke's training that really set the bar high for Ben Solo to turn to the dark side. And Leia disagreed with this. It's a very interesting side of the story where Leia insisted, she was basically forcing Han Solo to bring Ben Solo to Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple. And this was even hinted at in The Last Jedi, where Luke Skywalker tells Rey, Han was Han about it, right? That, I think, right then and there was a little piece of foreshadowing of what was going to be explained in Episode 9 by J.J. Abrams, such as this thing in particular. So, what do I make about all of this? Well, I think that this is Lucasfilm and Disney's way of really making this movie relatable. These kinds of things actually do happen. A husband and a wife, they split up over certain house troubles or something to do with their kids or whatever it may be, right? There's always some kind of conflict around the world. And this movie seems like it's going to be very relatable to actual conflicts that happen in the real world. And I kind of like how they're trying to make this relatable. I'm just not quite sure if this is going to make Han or Leia look like a bad character. In my point of view, you can see where Han is coming from. He fears how he has so much Vader within him, and that training with Luke would maybe make things only worse, where Leia insisted that he would train with Luke because Luke's guidance as a Jedi would put him in the right path. So it's very possible to say that neither of those characters really knew exactly what would happen to Ben Solo regardless of what he did. I think that at the end of the day, since Snoke was watching over Ben Solo ever since he was unborn. I don't know if you guys knew this, but in The Force Awakens novelization, we do learn that Snoke was always watching over Ben Solo even before he was born, ever since he was within Leia's womb. How creepy is that? That's creepy in my opinion. So, Snoke had this master plan to turn Ben Solo to the dark, and he was seducing Ben ever since childhood. So, you can really see how JJ is really trying to dig deeper into the story here, between the family troubles of Han, Leia, and Ben Solo. Even Ben Solo told, Rey in of course, The Force Awakens, where he says, he would have disappointed you when he talked about Han Solo. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.